We're just going to get started then. Let's start lying down on your back. So if you have, you can have a blanket under your head if you like or not. Up to you. Start down here today. And just feel your way down onto your back. And notice that shift, right? The change from your all day long upright posture, spine in the vertical to spine now in the horizontal orientation. What does it feel like? What do the muscles feel like along the spine, around the back of the rib cage, around your hip joints or your shoulders? So begin your practice by just noticing that the feeling, just the whole feeling of being supine, reclining. Breath in, breath out. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And then let's pull the left knee up into the left hand, and then pull the left knee out a little wider to the left. And then take it up and across into your right hand. So you pull the knee over and the hips into a little twist. And then back into your left hand. So just that little movement here. Just feeling some rotation up through the rib cage spine. Letting the spinal muscles and the rib cage muscles start to open up and breathe, come alive. Once more, and then switch legs. Reset the hips, and then extend left leg, pull right knee into right hand. Let right knee go wide. And then bring it up and take it across. Twice more. It's nice and easy, comfortable. Then return and extend both legs. Now balance again across the hips, through the weight of your two legs, and take a breath here. And I'm going to just set my blanket off to the side and reach my arms up overhead. Maybe hook the thumbs together, pull, reach, get taller on the floor, and then take both feet over to the right corner of your mat. Do a little side bend here on your back. And then we kind of pick up the arms, the head, and the shoulders, and fold them a little to the right as well. Take another breath here. Come back to the middle, come back to center, go to the left corner of your mat with your 2 feet and your 2 legs, arms, shoulders, head. If you can go any more to the left with your feet, do so. Take another breath here. And then let that go and come back to center. And then bring your 2 feet up to stand on the floor, and then bring your knees into your chest. And then let your arms go wide and take your legs up and just kind of pull your pelvis up off the floor toward you. So like you're doing a little roll through the lower spine. Do a couple of more. Just let the floor be that little bit of pressure against the vertebrae. And then stand your feet back down on the floor. Take a breath in here. And then on the exhale, bring your arms up and your head up and your upper back up like a big bear hug in midair. And then inhale, release everything to the floor. Exhale, head up, arms up, upper back. And release. 3 more. Let that go, and then take another breath here on your back. And then let's come from your back onto your side, and then from your side up off the floor onto your hands and knees. And then you're breathing and moving through cow pose and cat pose. So letting the vertebrae, letting the spine have its full range of motion, of movement. All the anterior and posterior, front and back of the spine, into extension and inflection. And then from all fours, again, feel through a few side bends on your hands and knees. Hip to shoulder, ear to shoulder, hip to shoulder, ear to shoulder. And then let's go from here into downward facing dog. Or curl the toes. Crouch back a little bit, hips back toward your heels. Press the floor. Lift yourself up. Two more breaths here. And then bring the feet forward about halfway, and then let the fingers or the hands just slide back toward the feet. And forward fold, inhale, bring yourself all the way up to stand up, bring your arms wide over your head, let your palms touch there. Reach up, we just arch back a tiny bit. And then come upright, let your arms go wide again, forward fold. Hands find the floor, downward facing dog. With your next breath in, step forward about halfway. Let the fingers just draw back. Inhale, come up. Lean back, little baby back bend, baby upper back. Exhale, fold. Downward facing dog. Look forward, take a bigger step up with your left foot. Turn your back foot to flat. And then with a breath, inhale, arms wide, warrior one. Exhale, arms wide, reach to the floor, step back. Inhale, look forward, big step forward, right foot, turn the back foot to flat. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come down. Do that twice more with each side. Ending in downward facing dog. One more breath. Walk forward about halfway. One big step forward with each foot. Let the hands slide back from Uttanasana. Breath in, arms wide. Arms overhead, touch the palms, bring the palms to your heart. Okay, and then from there. Let's. Stand. Middle of your mat. Shift your weight to your left foot. Bring your right leg forward. Out to the side. Back. Into the back of the hip. Do 4 more. See if you can do all of that without dropping the lifted foot. If you need the floor, go to the floor. See if you can do all of it balancing on your left leg and your left foot. And then lower your arms, your 2 feet to the floor, mountain pose. And then arms really wherever you want to have arms. If they feel like kind of helping you stabilize balance by having them up or out wide, you can go up or out wide, or just have them at your hips. Have them at your heart. And we're trying really just to move the leg to engage all of the hip muscles, the flexors in the front, the extensors to the side, the glutes to the back. When you're back in mountain pose. And then tree pose, just balancing on one leg. Start on your left leg again. Just bringing your foot where you normally, familiarly have your foot, or we try placing the foot a little differently. A little higher up over the knee, or lower if you tend to have your foot up on the thigh. Try it on the calf. Try it a little more toward the back of the inside of the calf. Soft gaze, take 4 more breaths. Mountain pose. Second side when you're ready. Opposite leg. Five more breaths here. Last breath, get a little taller. Mountain pose again, Tadasana. Take a breath. Good. And then a block or 2 if you, whatever you like, under under your hand for standing half moon pose for Ardha Chandrasana. If you're taller, sometimes just having that little extra bit of height can help you just feel through a little bit more, having a little bit more space in the pose. Let's start starfish. So feet wide, toes turned out. Feel the extension in your two legs through the knees, through the joints of your ankles and your knees and your hips, and then your arms up. And just pull, just feel yourself being pulled. The two arms, the two legs, up and down the spine, the two sides of your spine. And then turn this into triangle pose, just by turning in your right toes, turn out your left foot, feel the hips tilt back, keep all of this wide arm length. Is there space up and down the sides of your neck? Is your neck long? Left side, right side. Let's take the top hand to the hip, shift your weight forward, hand to block. So let weight shift entirely into the front foot. And the blocks underneath your hand before you take your back leg up. And then practice just coming out. Can you step wide back into triangle pose? So that the minute your back foot hits the floor, you can let go of the block. And then you're back in the pose, back in the standing pose, Trikonasana. And then you shift forward, reach, block, lift the back leg, take a breath. And then we practice reverse. Reverse the whole transition. Practice coming in and out, right? Let there be same quality of attention, intention in moving into the pose. Is there agility? Are you agile? Let's do two more. Come in and out twice more. A little more space there. Back in triangle pose. That's where we come out. We reach back up. Find that nice kind of big open bright starfish again. Good. And then let's go to the second side. Your wide stance, reach out again. Feel the strength in your arms, right? Like you were pulling on ropes that were tethered to your wall, trying to pull them away from the wall. Turn this into triangle pose, right foot out, left foot back. Take one more breath. Look down, kind of see where you're going. Left hand to your hip. And I always like to just shorten the stance first, so I can get to the block, settle my weight there, and then lift. And then reverse. Back in. Bend the front knee. I'm just not really pushing away from the block, but letting your weight move back toward that back left foot, back left leg as you're coming out. Weight coming forward into your right leg, right foot, right arm blocks. Let your weight carry you off the block, back into the pose. 2 more. Reach up. Good, and then this time, just a fold, wide feet. Take one more breath here. And then we're back up. Let's take the feet back together at the top of the mat. Hips distance apart, rather. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, wide arms, soft knees, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, high push-up position. Feel your arms bearing your weight. Take another breath here. Come down to the floor. Bring your heart forward. Any amount of back bend that's comfortable for your back, for your spine, for your hips. And then we'll shift back. Breath in. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Look forward. Bring forward your left foot. Turn your back foot to flat. Settle weight into the soles of your feet. And then come up through the arms. Wide to warrior 2. Reverse the back palm. Take the back arm up. Then it meets the front arm. Pivot onto the ball of back foot. Slide left foot back, downward facing dog. And go through that transition 4 more times. You're looking forward. Left foot comes to the top. Right heel drops. Left knee bends. The arms come up and wide. Reverse the back palm. All the way back down. Reach. Slide left foot back. Comfortable fluidity in and out. Couple more. Good, hold here for another breath. Look forward, walk back to the top, half forward fold. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana. Okay, then we'll get the second side. I'm just going to switch ends here. We'll inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, soft knees, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, half. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, high push-up position. Take a breath in. On the exhale, lower. On the inhale, any amount of back bend. On the exhale, float back. Downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. And then look forward, bring forward right foot. Back foot turns to flat. Left arm up and back. Reverse the back palm. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, forward right foot, back foot to flat. Reverse back palm, inhale. We're doing 3 more. Two more. Take a breath here. Let the knees come to the floor. Child's pose, if that's a comfortable resting spot for you. Good, and then inhale. Bring yourself back onto all fours. Flip the toes under again, hips back, push, lift. Now we're facing dog one more time. Okay, and then you can stay in downward facing dog a few more breaths, another breath or two. Or you can play with just walking your feet forward, but without letting your shoulders collapse, okay? So we're going to keep this extension through the shoulders, through the upper arms, into the spine, into the upper back, and just try to bring the feet forward. But if your knees have to bend a lot, thighs are coming up closer to your belly, just keep coming a little more forward, a little more forward. You're on your tiptoes, push your chest back. There you are, almost completely forward folded, but with your weight still bearing in your arms and upper body. And then walk back. Find that stronger, fuller extension in your shoulders, that deeper opening in the shoulders, not armpits. Walk forward. Up into a half forward fold. Inhale all the way forward fold with soft knees. Good. And then just bring the knees to the floor. Sit back on your feet or sit forward with your feet. Give the shoulders a roll. Bring one arm up all the way back behind you. Backstroke the arm. Just the arm. Not the rib cage, not the shoulders. Just the arm. And then right arm. And then let's come back into the palms, right? Shoulder extension. So this is at once a stretch for the shoulder, but also more weight bearing in your hands. So feel free to make fists here if you like. Turn the hands at any angle that's comfortable for your wrists. Take a breath in. Exhale, reverse tabletop. Right, so use those strong back of your pelvis muscles that are called your glutes. And it can drop back. That doesn't bother your neck. Drop your head back. Breathe one more breath. All the way back down. And then bring your hands together, interlace your fingers, and then whirl your hands at the wrists. So you're making a little infinity wave out in front of you. And then switch directions. And then just shake out. And if you happen to have little hand weights at all, no worry if you don't. But they are fun to add to like a dynamic bridge pose where we're taking the arms up and over your head to the floor behind you. Just taking a little extra weight load with you when you go, okay? So not strictly necessary, but if you think about it later in the week and you know they're hiding somewhere in your house, find them if you can find them and add them to your practice. Just whenever you're doing something where you have to use arms or your arms are out in front of you, the weight of your arms out in front of you, an extension, adding a little bit of load, right? You will feel a dramatic kind of difference. But let's just take a few rounds, weights or no weights, it doesn't matter. A few rounds of just your arms up and over your head to the floor. These are 5-pound weights, and this is hard. The closer you get to the floor and the farther away you are through extended arms, and these are really good for movements for building the strength in your shoulders that you need to do things like handstand. If you ever see yourself doing a handstand, supporting yourself on your hands, but you're really supporting yourself in your arms and your shoulders. I'm going to set those aside, and then let's take the full up and down into bridge pose, where you lift the hips and you let the arms float up and over your head to the floor and then come down. Once more. All the way down to the floor on an inhale, exhale, pause. Okay, and then let's go wide with your arms. Haven't done this in a while. Go wide with your arms, your palms facing the floor. So you can leverage the arms as you kind of turn your legs from side to side. You're gonna bring your legs up to like a 90-degree angle at the knees and at the hips. And then breathe in, drop knees to the left. Almost to the floor, not quite. Exhale, bring the knees back in. Out to the right. Exhale back in. Three more to each side. Two more. Last one. Just using that strong exhale as a pull through the belly to right your legs, to pull the weight of your legs and your hips back to center. And then let your feet come to the floor. Then let's bring the hands together behind the head. Interlace your fingers there. Take a breath in. Arch the spine. Press your arms into the floor. Exhale. Pull your elbows in. Lift your head and your shoulders, and your feet. So your knees come into your elbows. And then inhale. Walk the feet. Breathe in. Exhale. Roll up. Inhale. Roll down. Good. Let's do 5 more. Leave the feet on the floor. Just roll head and shoulders up. Inhale. Let go of your head. Let your arms go wide. And then let's take a block between sacrum and floor. On its wide, low side, or just up one turn to the vertical, longer, skinny edge of your block along the sacrum. Either way. And take 2 or 3 breaths where you're just kind of feeling your weight settle into your block. Don't resist. Just feel the totality of the weight of your hips and your low back supported on your block. And if you need to shift the block to a more comfortable position, do so. Add a blanket if you want something that just feels a little softer. Let's extend one leg. If extending one leg created strain along the spine, discomfort, try lifting your other knee into your hand. Just bring the pelvis back into a more neutral position. Good. Exhale, switch legs. Good, and then both feet come back up to stand, and then just very gently, easy, press into the feet. Come up off your block enough to slide it out from behind you, spine to the floor, extend both legs. And then let's take a full Shavasana, starting here and now. Take our full 10-minute Shavasana. Let's not cheat ourselves on time. 10-minute Shavasana, 5 minutes to sit. Or, use it in whatever way makes sense for you. 5-minute Shavasana, 10-minute sit. If you only have time for 10 more minutes, 5 and 5, or just do the Shavasana. Make it your own. Make sure you're comfortable and supported. See if we can just access that deeper rest. And just having the additional 5 minutes makes a big difference. You can really sense the difference in your body coming into deeper relaxation mode. You give it a little more of your time. Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes we can drop right in. Sometimes we can just come in, arrive all at once into deep rest. Sometimes it just takes a few minutes. A few minutes to stop controlling. Stop controlling the breath. Or stop telling yourself what to do. Take a few longer, deeper breaths here, coming to the end of Shavasana. So with this little effort, this little disturbance, what's possible, come from the back onto your side and then feel your way up to a seat from there and pause on your side. Sit, sit, sit for a few minutes. Let this be just a continuation of the state of your attention in the last 10 minutes. Lying down, continuing another just 5 minutes in an upright seat. Close our practice here. You want to bring your palms together in front of your heart once more. Close our time here. Knowing the gifts of your practice extend beyond your time on your mat into the rest of your day, into the rest of your life. Notice the effects of your practice in the days ahead. So you have time to return to your mat. Until then, namaste. Thank you for your time.